The newest record in Tour de Force, TDF, is LRTRACK. This replaces the current PT track, or PT, that we have come to know and love. In addition to everything else, please learn to call it by its new name, LRTRACK, so we all know what everybody else is talking about. This video will instruct you on how to create a new LRTRACK and how to work with it through feedback and questions. At the present time, LRTRACK is used for chains. Independent stores will come on board down the road. If you're new to TDF or need a refresher on TDF, see the TDF Training Session #1, TDF 101 video, and the TDF Training Session #2, Created Records video, before viewing this one. They can both be found in the L&R University group on the iNet. A big key: open TDF in the morning as you start work. More and more this is becoming important. Have it available when you need it. When opening TDF, many of you might start seeing it open to a different record or view than in the past. That's okay, as you can always quickly change to the record or view you're wanting. In fact, some new views have been created to supplement this LRTRACK rollout. Every TDF user now has a personal view called My LRTRACKs. It contains any LRTRACKs that you've created, that you have been assigned to, or that you have been named a monitor for. Here, My LRTRACK is open, and it's in a personal view called My LRTRACKs. Notice my LRTRACKs are grouped by department and status, as will yours be in this view. Department does not come into play, as logistics is the only department currently involved with LRTRACK. The My LRTRACK view also groups by status. Here are my LRTRACKs in the closed status, just one. Here are my LRTRACKs in the open status, and there's 7. Here are my LRTRACKs in the reopened status. I can expand or close up the groupings using the little minus or plus boxes to the left. So how do we create a new LRTRACK? Here you go. First, as with all new records, find the proper record to create off of. In this and most instances, that is an account. That will normally be an account headquarters. So we change from LRTRACKs to accounts. Be sure you're in a view that includes chain headquarters. The best one, Chain Account HQ, but there are others. Say the LRTRACK concerns Giant Eagle. I filter or scroll for the Giant Eagle headquarters. Just remember, I'm in accounts because I want to create my LRTRACK to link to this account. I can right-click on the account once I find it and do Action, New LRTRACK. A new blank LRTRACK opens. It is suggested that as soon as you open, you go ahead and save. That may seem a little odd, but here's the reason. That gives the LRTRACK a number, opens the icons across the top, and makes support notes operational. Yes, you'll have to save again after completing it all, but get into the habit of saving as soon as it opens. Much of what you do here is familiar from PT track. Give the LRTRACK a department. Automatically filled in here because logistics is the only department currently using this. Priority rating. Required completion date. Category, and a summary that kind of gives the LRTRACK a name. Notice all those fields are shaded in gray. That means they're required fields. Miss one of them and you'll get an alert email telling you to return and complete. Status and close type are strictly for the logistics team. Notice a couple other tabs toward the top. Workflows. It's something for later instruction. Change log would just simply be a log of all the changes that have been made to this LRTRACK. There are 3 tabs toward the bottom. Logistics requirements. These can guide you in the necessary elements needed for certain categories. So here you have resets, updates, you have a list of elements beneath it. So if you were in that category, you would want to look at this and be sure you're completing everything you should be completing for that category. Logistics Management tab is strictly for the logistics team. Other TDF users can view the information in Logistics Management, but cannot edit. The last tab is Support Notes, and maybe the most important. Just as in the old PT track, there will be communication amongst the main players, and this is the place. This is the ongoing conversation about this LRTRACK. When you create a new PT, be sure to start the conversation here with the information you want to include in your LRTRACK. Remember what I mentioned earlier, though. You have to have saved the LRTRACK to be able to use Support Notes. So let's add a note. When you first open Support Notes, click on New icon and start typing. When completed, click on Save. Disregard the fields in the lower right. They're not used just now. They might be in the future. And here you have the most recent note put into the LRTRACK. If this LRTRACK requires attachments, there are 2 possibilities. TDF has created some templates for the forms we use most frequently. Here I will open one. I'll go to New Store. I keep that the name. No need to change that name. I click OK. I might have to go down to my icons down here to find that form. There it is. And I'm just going to put in a bit of information. And then I save. Do not save as, just click Save. Then close. You're back to your LRTRACK. Go under Attachments, View, Manage Attachments. And there we see that form that we just completed from the template. We could open that, or anybody else in this LRTRACK could open that, because that is in TDF. If you have an attachment from your files in your computer that you want to add to your LRTRACK, you go to Attachments and go to Add New. There you just find your attachment that you want to put in. I'll put in this one, make it easy. You might have to wait just a little bit, but you should see that an attachment is now here, showing as 1. You might say, well, why aren't there 2? Because I put a template under there, but the template for some reason doesn't actually get numbered here, but attachments from your computer do. So I'll down arrow, View, Manage Attachments, and now I have both the template I completed a while ago and the form, the file that I brought over from my computer. Those attachments, whether from the template or a TDF user's computer, are now in TDF and will be available to any TDF user viewing this LRTRACK. Any TDF user could also edit these attachments and resave. A quick side note, if you're completing or editing an attachment, do so and then save. Don't keep the template or attachments open any longer than necessary. Obviously, any changes made to an attachment logged into TDF would affect the attachment in TDF, not the original that still sits in a file on a computer. Now I've completed the LRTRACK. I can save and close. It is now saved in full in TDF. The logistics group will see it and begin work on it. Here you see, as I open LRTRACK and refresh, we should have a new open LRTRACK. And that would be this one right here that we created a moment ago, label request for Cub, and we put in an attachment. Just like with TDF, you'll be returning to the LRTRACK for one thing or another until it's closed. There are some email alerts you will receive during the process. If you did not complete all required fields when first completing the LRTRACK, you will get an email alert telling you so with a link back to the LRTRACK, and I'll show you one of those. You would get this type of email within about 20 minutes or so, indicating that you forgot to fill in one or more fields. It will also give you a link back to that LRTRACK. If the status of the LRTRACK changes to needs, feedback, or closed, you'll receive an email alert telling you so with a link back to the LRTRACK. When a new support note is keyed in and the LRTRACK saved, the person who created the LRTRACK and the person assigned the LRTRACK and any monitors selected for the LRTRACK all would receive an email with the most recent note and a link back to the LRTRACK. I'm going to show you an example of one of those. I've been talking a bit about views, so just a quick note on those. Back to Info Center. Views are windows into TDF. Every type of record, LRTRACKs, accounts, activities, opportunities, whatever it is, they all have a variety of views. Those views are created either by an administrator or an individual TDF user. Views created by an administrator are represented over here. They're represented by the blue globe. They're called global views. Views created by individual TDF users are represented by the white and green icon. You can toggle between the two types of views by clicking on the icons. Click on views and you'll see the list of views available for that record type. If you're ever in a view that simply does not show you the information you're looking for, just switch to a view that does. I mentioned that personal views can be created by individual TDF users. I will have some information on creating those in some upcoming instructions. Please call me at 636-262-5789 if questions, or Kathy Mara in logistics. Thanks.